guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. This is a very special review because not only do we have a rare sports car that's actually pretty hard to find nowadays, but this one is also owned by a Rady's Rides fan and a good friend of mine. It's Larry from Porsche Clearwater. This is his brand new 2025 BMW Z4, and Larry, being the true car enthusiast, went all in. So not only does he have the M40i, but this one is the return. The first time here in the United States, this is the Haunt Shelter, which actually means hand shift. It's got a manual transmission. But before we get into this rear-wheel drive, pure driving experience of a BMW, let's talk about what's going on here. So like I said, it's the return of the manual transmission. Now, over in other parts of the world, you could get a manual transmission Z4 since its inception, going all the way back to 2019. Remember, this is the car that shares the chassis with the Toyota Supra, the Mark V Supra. The main difference is all Z4s are convertibles. There isn't a hardtop version whatsoever. Now, because Larry checked off that M40i box on the option sheet, this gives you that straight six turbocharged power plant, and now with the manual transmission, it really brings it to a level of pure sports car satisfaction. But what I want to find out is, for the price, is it worth it? And is this the best, but also the most forgotten of sports cars? Let's go ahead, let's dive into Larry's new BMW and find out. Right off the bat, the color, that metallic gray finish, very classy, very sporty. Now at the front of the business, I still love the styling of these Z4s. They did a great job on the headlight housing. You got your daytime running lamp, your LED headlights, and I love the way the turn signals, and then of course you got that halo design daytime running lamp, the double stack on the interior. Now working our way down, we have full functionality. You got a corner air curtain, and you have your venting here for cooling for the heat exchangers. And then one of the things that BMW always does well that I like on the front bumper area of their cars is how they integrate the aero. So this piece of splitter that comes down is a functional piece of aero to help give us downforce and to also help scoop air where that air needs to go. Now, as we come across that low slung nose, you got the classic kidney bean grill shape. Love the way it's fully functional. There's active aero behind there that opens and closes, surrounded around the perimeter with gloss black, but this is probably the best looking front end of the modern BMWs. The rest of them, I don't know what BMW is thinking. Now on the lower portion, you have this honeycomb style lower grille, gloss black, fully functional, and then you'll notice how we have the aero also on the inner portions as well. And like I said, that's not only just for flowing of air for aerodynamics, but it's also for cooling of the heat exchangers and the brakes. But let me know what you think about the face of this BMW. I always thought that this was the right look, especially if you're looking at a Mark V Supra. This just has that cleaner, classic BMW look. Now, as we rise up, you got that BMW badge, Bavarian Motor Works, and then I love the way they work the hood. Simple, clean. You got these two indentations, one on each side to just give it a classic style. And then as you come around the bend, what do we work with on the M40i? So what you're gonna find are some forged aluminum wheels. So you're gonna notice that V-spoke design all the way around. And what's great about this wheel, you're looking at 19-inch wheel, 255 on the width up front, 35 series sidewall. When you go with the manual transmission option, it's not just the manual transmission. You get different wheels, you get thicker anti-roll bars, and you get a specially tuned adaptive suspension that is different from the ZF 8-speed automatic. This car is rear-wheel drive, which gives you that great sports car driving pleasure. Love the large, bright red, that tomato sauce red M badge on our calipers. And then, like I said, having these wheels, they're forged, so that means they're lighter on the rotating mass, and they're stronger than cast aluminum. And we also get, when you go with the manual, the Continental Sport Contact 6 tires, which is more of a sticky track day style tire. But let me know what you think about the wheel style with the pop of red on the brakes. I think it works great with the color of the wheel, especially with that machined aluminum outer edge and with the way that we have the color on the exterior. Now, as we come down the side, I'm gonna have Steven kind of spin around, show you that venting on the front fender. Gives it a great look, nothing just stuck on. You do have gloss black on the mirror caps, and these are power folding mirrors. And I like the way that they black out the A-pillar instead of it being body color. Just gives it that nice, clean look. From the side, the proportions are just right. You know, you look at a lot of other sports cars today, they're just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Another one that this would compare to, if you're looking at price point and everything, would be a Porsche 718 Boxster, which, remember, different interpretation of the sports car rule book. The Boxster has a mid-engine. This has a front engine. So depends on how you want your driving experience. Love the way that you have color matched on the door handles and everything color matched all the way to the lower side skirt extension. My one zonk is I wish they would give this a nice tonneau cover instead of just having the cloth top visible. I think that would just give it a better look. You do have the Z4 name nicely embossed on the double roll, kind of rollover bar, I guess, for the lack of a better term. Gives it a nice sporty look to it. And then when you're looking out back, the tire size is actually a little meatier. It's 275 on the width. My one zonk is I don't like the way it's got the standard floating calipers that are just painted red. I would like to have the same calipers all four corners, especially because this is an M40i. You do have a limited slip diff. And then as we swing it around back, I do love the clean look. No stick-on spoiler or anything like that. The trunk has a nice kind of ducktail to it as it kicks up. They do a great job on the LED lighting, the Z4 badge, your M40i badge. And then dropping it down to ground level, I love the rear diffuser, and we have functional exhaust. One outlet on each side with that gloss black tip. And the way that it fits nicely into that lower bumper area is super clean. But they really did a great job on the rear end. And as you can see, the Porsche Clearwater, obviously, license plate frame, you know that this is Larry's car. He actually got it from the sister dealership, Bert Smith BMW, right in St. Petersburg. But let me know what you think about the outside of this sports car. Let's go ahead and pop the hood and talk about power. All right, guys, you got the hood pop. Just like on the Supra, the hood even incorporates the top of the fender. So you can see when the hood pops open, it's taking the top of the fender with it. You do have some strut bracing up top here, tying in where the shock absorber is to the front of the vehicle. Large engine cover with an M Performance badge. And I think you're gonna be happy with the performance that you get in this thing. So you're looking at, underneath that cover, a 3-liter straight six producing 382 horsepower. Turbocharged straight six, 382 horsepower, 369 pound-feet of torque, 0 to 60 in 3.8 seconds, quarter mile in 12.2 at 113 miles per hour, top speed 152 miles per hour, MPGs 19 in the city, 26 on the highway. And if you were wondering about brake size, believe it or not, you got 13.7-inch rotors up front and 13.6-inch rotors out back. So for a car that's this size, that's some pretty good brake rotor size that you get with the vehicle. But why don't we go ahead, let's fire it up and hear what it sounds like. All right, guys, we're inside this 2025 BMW M40i, the hand shift version, because we got the 6-speed manual, or at least Larry got the 6-speed manual. I'm very proud of him. Save the manuals, everybody, please. They're a dying breed. Now, I know you're probably saying to yourself, well, Joe, I want to be like Larry. Not that I want to work at a Porsche dealership, but I want to experience a BMW M40i with the manual transmission. How much is it? Well, let me just tell you this. Back in the day, back when I was young and gasoline was just 89 cents a gallon, if you got a manual transmission, it was actually the least expensive version of a car. You actually had a cheaper car going with a manual transmission. No. Not anymore when it comes to performance cars. If you want the manual, you got to pony up an extra $3,500. Now, the good news is it's not just the manual. You get the different anti-roll bars, the retuned adaptive suspension, the different wheels and tires. So it is like a package, but it is $3,500 more. MSRP, you're looking at $71,000. Quite a bit of Deutschmarks. But let's see what you get for your money. To the door panels. I do like the clean Euro style. Everything soft touch, nice contrast stitching. You have 2 memory seat settings for the passenger. We got the Harman Kardon premium sound system, some ambient lighting in that silver speaker grille cover there. Door pocket though is really, really tight. Maybe just one Wiener Schnitzel and that's about it. Now going from the door panel to the dash, more of that great soft touch. Not a lot of gloss black on the dash, which is good news. Slide on in. You do have the older style infotainment system, but I like it better. I like having the split infotainment system from the gauge cluster. Obviously, you've seen this infotainment system a million different ways. It's full touchscreen, but then you could also use the BMW direct drive control knob. So I'm doing this all with the knob. We could go into car. I'll go back to touching the screen. You could go to vehicle status, all that mumbo jumbo. We could even bring up our different modes. So here are different modes, and you have where you can configure individual and go through the different settings. Really have it up to your personality. But you could go sport plus extra dynamic setting. It's got a little bit of red, a little bit of race car curbing there. Let me throw it into reverse. Very small on the backup camera. So that's definitely a zonk, but you do have nice trajectory and it is fairly clear, which is good. We can go to different images. You got your backup assistant, all that good stuff. And then we're right back where we started. Working our way down, we have our digital readouts on our AC controls, dual climate. I like the way we got real buttons. Heated seats, but no ventilated seats. That's a zonk for $71,000. Real volume knob, your old school BMW controls for the radio. You got wireless charging, a 12 volt, a USB-A, and a place for 5 boxes of Tic Tacs. And then here's where Larry makes the magic happen. This is that 6-speed manual transmission, nice short throws, crisp engagement. I love the M badging with the gear pattern there. You have your start stop button, nice silver, a little bit of gloss black, which is a pain in the butt, but just make sure you got your polishing cloth. There's that direct drive control knob. More of that nice soft material. Open the doors, bombs away. This is where you got your cup holders. So that's a zonk because you're going to have to drive around with the center console open. If this was my car, you're not drinking in my car, so you don't even have to worry about the damn cup holders. You do have a USB-C in there. And then the seats. The leather, love the design of the seats, the piping, the stitching, full electric assist for the passenger, the driver, and you do have a little bit of cubby action behind you, but there is no rear seat. And that's how a sports car should be. Sports car should have no rear seats. With the top up, plenty of headroom. Come on over here though, I want to show you behind the wheel and the triple pedal action in Larry's BMW. All right guys, business time behind the wheel. You do have 2 memory seat settings. Love that nice aluminum BMW M40i sill plate. Pedal box right out of a race car, my kind of race car. Aluminum dead pedal, clutch, brake pedal, and throttle. You can do heel toe down shifting if you know how to do it all by yourself, or there is automatic rev match downshifting for you if you don't want to do your heel toe downshifting. Like I said, I'm 6 feet tall, plenty of room. The seat controls are within fingertip reach. I love that lower lumbar. Steering wheel, BMW makes a good one. The leather, you even got leather on the horn button with the stitching, the M badge. It's a heated steering wheel, and there's flat black on all the switch gear. And it is a manual tilting telescoping steering wheel. And then you got that beautiful digital gauge cluster that, depending on what mode you go into, it changes. So there we are in eco. If you drive this car in eco mode, there's something wrong with you. I'm just telling you that. This is not a car. Go get a Prius. Don't get a Z4 and drive in eco mode. You need to be in Sport Plus, and you need to be in Sport Plus right now. And there's a head-up display, and I love in the head-up display, it's got Formula One style shift lights to make sure you're in the right zone when it comes to the revs of that straight six. Now, there is a trunk, and it's got 10 cubic feet of space, so that means you can fit about 2 carry-ons back there. But this car is not about carry-ons. This car is about on throttle. So if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's go on throttle in Larry's Z4. All right, guys, we're inside Larry's BMW Z4 M40i with the 6-speed manual transmission. Of course, we got the top down, and if you're ready, I'm ready. We're gonna go on throttle and see how this sports car drives. Nice crisp engagement from the 6-speed manual. The seats are comfy. You ready? On throttle, here we go. This car, I don't know who in their right mind would want to just get an automatic in it, because the whole point of the fun of this thing is the manual. It really is. The power delivery, it's actually quite smooth considering it's a turbocharged engine. And I'm actually liking the way that the 6-speed shifts. When you compare this to the Supra, I feel like the Supra doesn't feel as good as this transmission. And remember, the Supra does have gear ratios specifically selected by Toyota. But I'm noticing it doesn't have in this transmission as rubbery as a feel as some other BMW transmissions that I've driven. It is a little rubbery still, but just not as bad. With the windows up, you're able to hold a conversation, no problem. If you're ready, I'm ready. Here we go. On throttle. Nice. I tell you, it's very deceiving just how quick this car is. It puts you back in the seat nicely, and of course, having the top down just makes that experience that much better in this car. Love the pops and the bangs. Especially when you're just letting off throttle, or if you're downshifting, you're getting some nice pops and bangs, which is awesome. Getting to that over 10 inches of infotainment system is well within reach. And like I said, the seats are a nice combination of comfort, but also sportiness. The bolstering is just enough. Clutch, it's a little on the heavier side, but it's got a good pickup point, and I think that you're gonna enjoy the overall action of it. But I do really like the sound coming out of the exhaust. Steering feedback is great. And if you notice, you're not getting a lot of wind buffering inside of the vehicle, which is nice. Love the large head-up display. Very, very clear. We're gonna slow down a little bit here, see how this car handles. Nobody's behind us yet. You ready? On throttle! Here we go. Look at that. Holds the line nicely. You point it, exactly where you want it, and you're good to go. Now, if you're comparing this to a if you're comparing this BMW to a Porsche 718 Boxster, remember, unless you get a GTS or a Spider, all the other trims are 4-cylinder turbos. So just something to think about. But if you do happen to get a GTS Boxster or a Spider, then you get the naturally aspirated flat 6. The other engine is a turbocharged flat 4. This, you have that 6-cylinder straight 6, inline 6. Very, very balanced though. The benefit you're gonna find with the Boxster is that because it's a mid-engine, it handles superbly. But that 4-cylinder turbo cannot hold a candle to this vehicle. It just can't, even with the better handling. If you're looking at a GTS, you're looking at about $90,000 or so, so quite a bit more than this car. Although I would prefer the GTS over this car. But it's nice to have this option. On throttle, second gear. On the brakes, look at this. Just so communicative. This is what the ultimate driving experience is in this car. This is taking us back to the time when BMW was just so dominant with how engaging their cars were to drive. Another thing I'm noticing, because it's convertible, is you're not getting any pumped-in sound, which is awesome, because BMW's pumped-in sound sucks. Downshifts are so nice. Look at this. Brakes feel good. Here we go. You ready? I'm ready. On throttle. Just super smooth. Love the overall feel, the feedback, the way it communicates. It's just really great. Even when you're driving normal speeds, it's just comfortable. And I'm telling you, even if you're new to driving a manual, the clutch is actually pretty good. Not as light as a Type R, but it's not super heavy. You ready? Second gear, on throttle. Look at this. Look how the front end just sticks. Yeah! Really, really nice. Larry is a lucky dog to be able to drive this car on a regular basis. Let's see how slow we got to be going to put the top up. So right now I'm at 30, so around 30 miles an hour the top will go up. And you got, like I said, you got plenty of headroom in here. Turn the air up a little bit. It has a little bit of pumped in sound, but not too much. I'm hearing it now that the top is up, but it's not as obnoxious as some of the other BMWs I've been in. Let's do it on throttle with the top up. On throttle! Look at that third. Just so freaking smooth. I'm really digging it. It took them forever, but I'm glad that they brought it. Having the Z4 with the manual. Obviously, brakes work really good. See how she handles on the brakes. Look at this. Here we go. nice. Super, super smooth. I'm also noticing that with the cloth top up, you're not getting a ton of wind noise, which is crazy. You would think with the cloth top, you would get a ton of wind noise, but you're not. I love that. But we gotta get this car back to Larry. I know he wants to go home. I'm very grateful for his support and for allowing me to showcase his baby for you here on the channel. But we're gonna get back to where it all started and wrap this one up. So I'll see you in a split second. All right, guys. Another great day in so many ways. I gotta thank Larry, not only for being a fan, but also for allowing us to have some time with his new baby, his 2025 Z4 with that manual transmission. Let me know what you think. Is this the better sports car over a Porsche 718 Boxster? Or are you gonna go hardtop Supra? And at the end of the day, is this the most forgotten? Because you just don't see many of them on the road. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section, but if you're new to the channel, you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raised Rides family. Gotta give it up to Stephen Flood. He's working that camera like a champ, no matter what car we're filming, no matter what time zone we're in, he's always ready to rock and roll. So thank you, Stephen, for all that you do. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.